Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski from joyofbaking.com. Today we're going to make a pavlova. A pavlova is a meringue with a thin, crisp, and delicate outside crust and a soft, marshmallowy center. To begin, we need to preheat our oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 130 degrees Celsius, and get a large baking sheet with a piece of parchment paper. And as you can see, I've drawn a 7-inch, that's 18 centimeter circle, and then we just flip that over. To make a pavlova, we need 4 large, that's about a half a cup of egg whites. You want them at room temperature. And then we need 1 cup, that's 200 grams of superfine white sugar. Now, superfine sugar is really hard to find in the US, so we can just make our own. You just take your sugar, a cup of regular sugar, put it in your food processor for about a minute, just process it, and then it'll be finely ground. And then we will need a half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Try to use pure rather than the imitation. And this is for flavoring. And then we got a half a tablespoon of cornstarch, that's corn flour. And to get that nice, sweet, marshmallowy center, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of just regular white distilled vinegar. So to start, in the bowl of your mixer with your whisk attachment, we're going to put the egg whites. Now, if you don't have a stand mixer like this, that's fine. You can just use a hand mixer with a large bowl. And then make sure this is really clean and dry and no grease so that the egg whites will reach their full volume. Now what we're going to do is just beat this on medium speed until soft peaks form. Okay, it's now soft peaks, as you can see. And then what we're going to do is add the sugar gradually, because we want 1 tablespoon at a time, because we want each tablespoon to dissolve into the meringue before we add the next one. So do this gradually. You might want to scrape down the sides of your bowl to make sure all the sugar is down into the meringue. And then, even though a meringue might look done, the best way to test is to take a bit between your fingers and just rub it. And if it feels kind of gritty, as this one still does, that means we need to beat the meringue a little more. Because what we want is stiff peaks, but we want that sugar to be fully dissolved into the egg whites. Okay, now we're going to just beat in, add the vanilla extract, and beat that in. And then I'm going to just fold in. We want to make sure this is completely folded in. I'm going to sift the cornstarch over the top of the meringue. Get all the lumps out. And then I'm going to add the vinegar, the teaspoon of vinegar. And then I'm just going to take my rubber spatula and just fold this in. You don't want to beat it too much, just make sure it's all incorporated. And then on our baking sheet, meringue. Get all this out. And then you can just use a spoon or use this offset spatula. Using that circle that we've made as a guide, just spread your meringue inside that circle. Now this, as I said, we're baking this in 250 or 130 degree Celsius oven. And this is a slow oven because what we want the meringue to do is bake slowly, dry it out slowly so that you get the nice crisp outside crust, but yet inside will be a nice, soft, marshmallowy center. So there we go. I'm going to put this in the oven for about an hour, hour and a quarter, until the outside is kind of very pale color and it's crisp on the outside, and there might be some cracking and you can still see the marshmallowy center. Okay. Our pavlova is now done. You can tell it's fully baked because the outside is crisp if you touch it, and yet it is a pale cream color. So now we're going to turn off the oven and let the pavlova sit in the oven until it is completely cooled. Once the pavlova has cooled completely in the oven with the door open, if your house isn't humid, you could cover and store it for a few days. I like to serve pavlova with softly whipped cream and fresh fruit. As you can see here, I've used a medley of fresh berries, but passion fruit, kiwi fruit, you could use pineapple, mangoes, bananas, or even a lemon curd or a fruit sauce would be very nice. Until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski from joybaking.com.